Hey everybody, welcome back again, and today I am taking a look at another Legends Scale figure, and today we're going to be looking at Magic Square's MSB64 Eniac number 2, which is their version of Nosecone, of course in Legends Scale. So this is the second figure that was released in their set of Technobots that will come together to form Computron. We've already gotten 4 of them, and we are anxiously awaiting the 5th release that has been shipping just recently. That's going to be their Afterburner. So wanted to go ahead and get through these as I kind of move through the entire set. If you tuned into the first video that I did for their version of Lightspeed, as you know, I'm not a Legends collector. I've never owned a Legends Scale figure. That was actually my first figure, and I was very highly impressed. So wanted to go ahead and take a look at these others and get through them as we get through to that last piece and we get the final combiner and Computron. So looking at the box is just like what we got with their Lightspeed. Very nice artwork, very true to form G1 animation style, I guess. So we've got a shot of the figure on the front. Obviously it's artwork. On the back we've got another nice piece of artwork with the tech spec. That's pretty much it for the box artwork, so very nicely done there. All of these figures have really cool artwork on them. Let's go ahead and get into it. So as we know, Nosecone is the other leg for Computron. Lightspeed, the first figure I did in this series, was the other leg. So we're just slowly starting at the bottom and moving our way up. So in the package for accessories, we obviously have the other foot. Almost identical. The other one is a little bit different in how the base of the foot clips onto the hood of Lightspeed, so this one is a little bit different, but it's the same articulation that we got. Everything else is nearly identical as far as that goes. We have the back leg cover that fits on the back of Nosecone and forms the back of the leg in Computron combined mode. And then we have a pistol. This obviously is just orange plastic, but it's still it's nicely done. It's, you know, there's some nice details on it. So, you know, I think very, very good looking. Forgot to mention, we do get the instructions. We do get the collector card. So they did a really nice job on these. Pays a really good tribute back to the old G1 packaging art. In the package, we also have 2 additional pistols. So we get those. Let's take those out and take a look at them. So they're both identical. Let's get a close-up shot there. So there we go with that. And then in the package, we also have the figure. So this guy is pretty good looking. Right out of the box here, this seems a little bit loose. Oh, I guess it just wasn't pegged in all the way. Again, not a whole lot of paint on these figures. It's mostly just colored plastic that we have here. There is a little bit of paint, it looks like, on the head sculpt and the eyes. It's a little bit difficult to get a good close-up there, but it does look really good. It's a really nice blue metallic. Looks like we've got a little bit of yellow paint on the crest on the head sculpt as well. Let's take a look at the articulation for this guy. So articulation looks to be very similar to what we got with Lightspeed. So on the head, you get to look up all the way. Really cool there. All the way around. There's not really down. You get down, I guess, because of this transformation panel, but it's not very functional. At the shoulders, we get shoulders all the way up, all the way around. So I think this needs to peg in. So we get at the normal shoulder joint, we get all the way around. We get a bicep swivel. At the elbow, we get a little bit better than 90 degrees. At the wrist, we get wrist swivel. Again, we don't even get this on Deluxe or even some Voyager class figures now from Hasbro, but yet they can do it on these small Legends scale figures. At the waist, we get all the way around, and we do get an ab crunch. We get some hip skirts on the side, and we get kind of an integrated hip skirt. With the leg, you get all the way up there. That's crazy. And you don't get quite as much back, just because of the way this rotates kind of at an offset, so it gets blocked back there. But, I mean, that is a good ways up. And then at the knee, you get a double knee. You do get a thigh swivel. And for the feet, you do get this nice little heel spur that with some articulation there. You do get an ankle rocker, and it looks like maybe the toe can rotate a little bit independently of the ankle rocker as well. I would imagine that's probably part of the transformation. So overall, articulation looks really good here. Very impressive for this size of a figure. As far as the plastic feel, so me being a newcomer to Legend Scale figures, the plastic does feel quite a bit different from a typical Masterpiece scale that uses ABS. This feels almost like a harder vinyl almost, and I understand why they do it, because the pieces are smaller. You've got, smaller pieces of plastic where pins have to go through, so they probably want something that is a little bit more pliable and doesn't, maybe not as brittle. So that does make sense to me, but it still feels really nice. It's got a good bit of heft to it. Just overall, I would say it's a very high quality figure. So very nice looking, very nice job, very well done here. I'm going to try to get this guy transformed. I was very surprised by the light speed at how complex the transformation was. I was not expecting that from a figure this small. So we're going to get this guy transformed into alt mode, and stay tuned. Here we've got a Nosecone in his alt mode. I think there's still maybe a little bit of cleanup I need to do on this guy to get everything clipped in properly. But he is pretty authentic looking to the original G1 toy, and the G1 animation for that matter. But he looks good. This transformation doesn't seem quite as complex as the other one was on the Lightspeed figure, but it was still a little bit of a challenge. I think that's really cool for figures that are this size. I just am, I know I can't say it enough, I'm just really impressed with these figures of how well articulated they are, how nice the transformation on them is. You know, they're just really fun. I think this one could legit be like a little desk bot that you just fiddle with a little bit during meetings or whatever when you're working from home. But overall, he looks really good. I'm going to try to get this guy in combine mode, and we'll take a look at it that way, and we'll have one more piece of the puzzle for the overall Computron combiner. So stay tuned. Here we have Nosecone in his combined mode, and I think there's still a little bit of cleanup that I need to do. I don't feel like I have it quite right yet, but we get the overall kind of gist of it. Typical Limbot. He does form the left leg of Computron, Lightspeed forming the right leg. So there we have him. This is just the lower leg, so we don't have any knee articulation yet. You have to get later when you get the pants part, the upper thighs of the combiner, but we will see that in a later initial impressions. So yeah, he looks really good. Again, very true to the original G1 animation and the G1 toy, actually, for that matter. Looks really good. You get ankle tilt or ankle rock. You get toe down. You do get some toe up. Yeah, he looks really good. So we've got another piece of Computron. I'm going to get the rest of these videos out for the other unboxings. And then, again, everybody is waiting for that afterburner that is just been shipped in the last couple weeks, so those should be dropping on doorsteps here pretty soon. So we'll get through all of them, and I'll eventually show you the whole thing combined. So again, if you like this content, please like, please subscribe, and I'll keep doing more of it. Thanks for watching.